Hi, Mike Perez with Mastering the Young Band at MikePerezBand.com. This video is going to talk about long tones from my Essential Foundations method book. The long tone pages really serve two functions in Essential Foundations. Number one is as a reinforcement tool for the notes the students learn in their chromatic basics page. It's a great way of just reinforcing what they've learned from those chromatic basics and seeing it in a little bit of a different way. Chromatic basics in general, the chromatics are written as half notes. And then in the long tones, they're connected for 2 counts longer, so they get 4 beats on those chromatic descending lines especially. The second thing that the long tones are great for are for your concerts, especially long tone 1 and 2. That is what I use for my beginner concert. We have a winter concert in which the beginners get to play for the first time as a full ensemble. And that's a really great warm up for the whole band to learn. It's the first 5 notes. It's a really easy way of getting them playing together. And I use it every year as one of my warm ups for that winter concert. The objectives for the long tones, as with any long tone, is to have a centered tone quality that has nice full resonant sound. And especially if you use the tuners with the microphone pickup, you want to teach your students to try to get their sounds on 0 in the center of the tuner. So when we're using long tones, I talk to my students a lot about, is your tone or is your tuning, are you right on 0? Do you see the green light? For instance, with the trombones, if they're going to third position and they are always going sharp, reminding them, okay, you're on the right side of your tuner, that's sharp. What do you need to do with your slide? And talk about they need to take it out more. Trumpets in their 6th position, are they moving their slide maybe too much and they're going flat in 7th position? Maybe they're going sharp on their 4th because they're not moving their slide. So that's what these long tones can be great for. It's just reinforcing tuning, tone quality, resonance, sound. You also want to talk to your students on these long tones about keeping their air moving through the note changes. It's very common for young band and even older bands to stop their air on note changes. So when they change note, they kind of stop their air and vibration and then they change. So it creates these gaps in the sound. And that's going to not only create a gap, it's going to affect their intonation as well. So talking about keeping their air moving through those note changes. For percussion in the long tones, it's a really reinforcement of all the 16th note patterns that they have learned earlier in their essential foundations, but they just see them in a slightly different way. So that's how I use my long tones. I honestly don't use them a lot with my woodwinds in beginning band. I use them quite a bit more with my brass players as a way of reinforcing their chromatic fingerings and doing some simple tuner work with long tones.